the Impossible Challenge, with 500% extra enemy HP, plus 3 actions, and plus 3 bonus actions. It's supposedly nigh unbeatable. The ultimate challenge to end all challenges, set out by Pixellbyte. If you somehow manage to pull it off, mark my words, I'll find a way to immortalize you in this mod forever. I don't know about you, but being immortalized sounds like a vibe. And when someone tells me something's impossible, it only fuels my stubbornness even more. And with that fire ignited, I started my most memorable playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3, and I was going to use every bit of metagame knowledge, every broken item interaction, every exploit and cheesy strategy I know of to completely break the game and bring it down to its knees. As much as I wanted to take this challenge down, it humbled me. I died again and again, and my heart wasn't ready for the soul-crushing lows experienced during the run. We are here today in memory. I will know. This is the story of how I took on the Impossible Challenge. Let's go over the rule set of the Impossible Challenge, which can be found on a Nexus Mods post. To summarize real quick, we can't use explosives from Merkel or Gel's Orb to finish Act 3. But I am a bit of a masochist, so I added the D20 Initiative mod to add variance to my run. Honor or Tactician must be the selected difficulty, but you know me, I love my permadeath mode, so Honor for now with the full expectation that I'm going to wipe this run. For character creation, we started off as a ranger. Full build guide can be found on my channel or in the description as a handy portable document for quick reference. Meet my channel darling, Mummy Melkers. Waking up on the Nautiloid. First things first, we take off our shoes and swap to camp clothing for the drip. Our first dice roll of the game really set the tone for this run. Failing a roll on getting us, we move on to the tutorial fight. Alright, let's see what we're in for. Here we go. How many actions? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 actions, baby. Immediately off the bat, I can theorize that having high armor class might be the way to go in this challenge. AC is what the enemy has to roll at a minimum to actually hit your character. Laezel had incredibly high AC at the start of the game. However, when the enemy has that many attack rolls, it was only a matter of time before they started hitting their attacks. We needed the extra damage to get through the imp's increased HP, and so we dipped our weapons in fire. Strangely, the imps do not have fire resistance. With another imp down, the final one got some payback, downing Laezel. After getting her up with a thrown healing potion, she got her final hit in via an opportunity attack. After the fight, we upgraded our short bow to a light crossbow, which we used on the sleeping cultists for 10 XP apiece. Now, one mod I've adored since early access is Aether's Black Dye, and what isn't a mod, however, is my default human underwear. Since I get asked about this a lot, see that campfire button? This toggles our appearance to display the bakery, and the thought of a homicidal girl running around in her default human underwear resonates deeply with my spirit. Speaking of the bakery, we freed Shadowheart, whose name will be Shadowcute moving forward in the video. Shadowcute used command drop on Sulk, managing to succeed a 55% roll and dropping the Everburn Blade. Looking at Sulk's HP, I quickly came to the conclusion that it was more trouble than it's worth, so we made a run for the transponder, picking up the Everburn Blade on the way. I learnt a few lessons here. Enemies have extreme mobility of dash, and Mage Hand can't activate the transponder. Sanctuary would have been a great play here, but hindsight is 2020. Laezel went down and Miss Melkers got blasted, but Shadowcute dashed and reached the transponder, sending the ship crashing. All waking up on the beach in our default human underwear, we shortly stumble into Shadowcute again, who fell asleep with her hand on her box, but that's okay. It happens to the best of us, so we took her along on the adventure. Now we were just lowly adventurers at this point, so any form of combat is to be avoided. So we skipped the intellect devourers by jumping up the cliff, encountering a strange purple glory hole.
A hand? Anyone?
High five, bestie. Unfortunately, the rules state for this challenge we cannot do the orb explosion for Act 3.
You were supposed to lend a hand, not take one.
Next, we encountered a mind flayer, and what a disgusting creature. I wanted to put it out of its misery. It took many shots to put down, but we were rewarded with a level up and a speed potion. Deciding not to lose my female audience, we snuck past Astarion. At level 2, we got archery fighting style as a ranger, giving us +2 to ranged attack rolls, which is incredible for our hit rate consistency. But what is also incredible is enhanced sleep. We leapt to this rock on the beach, failing our nature check, quick, but Shadowcursed came to the rescue, utilizing her Guidance cantrip, which adds 1d4 to her roll, resulting in a success. To move the heavy rock, we grab the strength elixir from our camp chest. I swear I don't have a drinking problem, and if you're wondering where all this stuff came from, it's from the Deluxe Edition DLC. We're going to use this a little later, but for now, under the rock were 2 potions of speed. Our next companion was Laezel. After freeing her from her predicament, we separated her from the party and sent her on her lonesome to go towards the ruins. Her base class is a fighter, and there is a unique dialogue to net us an easy 50 XP without any dice rolls or combat. Remember that Everburn blade we got at the start? Well, contrary to popular opinion, I believe the only use for this weapon is to sell it. We actually needed this gold for a better weapon, and that weapon being... Arabella will be our secret weapon, but first we have to pay her intern wages.
Your wanton criminality is
90
attracting
bucks.
attention.
Take it or leave it.
Perhaps you should improperly acquire...
The worst part about a new playthrough for me is hearing the TM. Listen to how hard I tried to skip the dialogue.
Alright.
If you're wondering how I skip dialogue so quick, I mashed my number keys and right click. But anyways, holy Gian, the entire reason we're here aside from the bakery is to grab the space gummy off the table. Since we picked up Arabella, Raph was just standing in the doorway staring at us. But I'm a gamer and I'm quick on my feet. My solution here was to drop Gal's hand to distract him, letting me grab the space gummy in peace. I guess Gal came in handy after all. Heading outside, we break the news to Arabella's parents, netting us a wholesome 45 experience, and leaving the grove carefully. I noticed that the grove fight was still going and it was a total bloodbath. I definitely dodged a bullet, avoiding that fight. Since we grabbed the space gummy, a Raphael will spawn in one of his predetermined locations. So I was feeling a bit lazy and threw a caustic bulb here just to skip his yapping. This is also a method of getting the hell dust for a solo run, but strangely, I didn't do it this playthrough. After skipping Raphael, I grabbed the silver pendant from the skeleton so I can still cast guidance after I changed Shadowheart into, well, a more useful class. Next, we visited Edwin for the space gummy and went on a little mushroom collecting trip, the salts that we will use later. Remember that shapeshifter mask we put on earlier? For this next segment, Mummy Milkers disguised herself as a female drow. The Blighted Village gave us 170 XP, and after passing a DC 5 roll at the windmill, we gained another 70. Hopping over to the checkpoint, we gained free access, giving us 140, and inside the Shattered Sanctum is our final drow dialogue, giving us a lovely 120 XP. Here, we tried to free Volo, but unfortunately for him, someone distracted me by redeeming whiskey on stream, so he remained in the cage. Next, we got branded by Gunt, and if that wasn't good enough for her, she invited us to her private quarters, only for us to drink a laced potion and find ourselves tied up in her dungeon. Yep, that escalated real fast. Hey, we got another space gummy in her shield at least. From here, we continued through a hidden passage, which led us on a very long ladder climb down into the Underdark. The first stop I like to go in the Underdark is the Arcane Tower, and with Enhanced Leap and Feather Fall, I avoided the Spectator by jumping on this lone platform, and the Bullet by jumping across this massive gap. Arriving at the Arcane Tower, it was defended by its magical turrets. And to avoid the turret's fire, I first jumped behind this rock for cover, and then up the stairs to hide behind a stone pillar. From here, I jumped south onto a large mushroom camp, and with one more jump, arrived at the base of the Arcane Tower, where I found a sussy flower on top of tree roots. The elevator was reactivated, allowing us to collect Timask and Tongue of Madness mushrooms. The next floor up, we collected Mistress Grace boots from the Chest of the Mundane, a pair of boots that allow us to cast Featherfall as many times as we want. Going up another floor, we read the torn out paper and the Roads to Darkness book in the corner, allowing us to talk and get a friendly hug from Bernard on the top floor of the tower. Before making our way down the tower, we obtained the Club of Hill Giant Strength by smashing this door. By holding it, it increases your strength to 19. A very handy item indeed. Leaving the tower, we beat the shit out of the turrets. Each of them are worth 40 XP, and there are 4 of them in total. This is the quest I needed the Arcane Tower for, so I handed handed the Tin Mask and Tongamanda's mushrooms over to Emilium in order to purchase one of the most powerful items that carried our run, the Boots of Stormy Clamor. More on what they do later when we set up the combo. Speaking of powerful items, the next weapon I had inside was the Titanstring bow, the most powerful bow across all acts in the game. Returning back to the Blighted Village, I avoided the gnolls and hyenas by using the lower section of the terrain. While we're here, we recruited Mama K, completing our girl squad. Not far from here was the back entrance to a cave. Ayo. With enhanced sleep, avoiding the traps wasn't too difficult, but somehow we got spotted trying to steal the Centrum crate. Guess we're spending $100 at Whippers. She ate 2 attacks immediately, putting her in the red. It was her turn to act, so she picked up the chest, dashed, and jumped across the bridge.
Death's close at hand.
It's okay, Miss Milkers. 1 HP in a dream. While we're waiting for our turn, it was time for Mama K's point of view. She casually strolled across the lush green grass, unlocking Wikin's Rest waypoint, switching back to Mummy Milkers. This is fine. Everything is fine. We had to act fast because after the gnolls had done with Rugen, she was going to be the next meal. She cast an enhanced sleep, jumped, and ended her turn. Watching Flint was scary. She hit Rugen so hard that he vanished from the fabric of reality. Mama K, local hot muscle mummy tiefling, smashes down doors to save a counsellor from a burning building. And back to you, Miss Milkers. She casts a Feather Fall and used Hide for her action, patiently awaiting her next turn and fate. Miss Milkers, time to leave here, darling. Dude, she made it out with 1 HP. After a spicy encounter, she caught up with Mama K. Did you know you can jump on the roof of this building and sneak around the back to avoid the fiery dialogue check with the guy surrounded with barrels? After sneaking past him and heading down into the cellar, we found the key to the scent hideout in the bottom crate and used it to go down the hidden stairs. Okay, I'm probably making you anxious by having my level up available and being on 1 HP, so let me fix that for you. Here we get our subclass, which I picked Gloomstalker for the +3 initiative, which is going to help immensely with the D20 initiative mod, as there'll be a lot of variation in initiative rolls. And we get the Dread Ambusher Hide, which in all honesty, I feel like this is slept on pretty hard. We then got our first nat 20 of the run and gave the chest to Saris, unlocking Bram's extended inventory, purchasing the Gloves of Thievery and some Invis potions, only to realize the Titanstring is a bit out of our budget. So to obtain it through other means, we staged a workplace accident by shoving Saris off the ledge, dipping our arrows in fire and aiming it at the nearest smoke powder barrel. The enemies had way too much HP and we rolled terribly on initiative. Bro, bye. This was the first death for the run. And trust me, there were many more to come. And I just realized we have a problem. I don't even have enough gold to revive Mummy Milkers. Returning back to the Goblin camp, we sold enough stuff to revive Miss Milkers. And I wasn't going to stop at a paltry sum of gold. I wanted infinite gold. For this, we needed Volo, who I realized was still stuck in his cage. Volo is perfect for supplying your party with infinite gold. You can pickpocket him as many times as you'd like, and if you do fail, he just runs away. All you have to do is wait for him to come back to continue the process. Here are some cheeky tricks you can do while pickpocketing. You can quickly pickpocket by pressing enter after clicking on an item. Let's step that trick up a notch and do multiple sleight of hand rolls by quickly pressing enter and left clicking as fast as you can. Here I did 3 sleight of hand checks in rapid succession. Guidance for the Gloves of Thievery do help a lot with these rolls. See how I haven't leveled up any characters? Well, there's actually a reason for that. Every time I level up, a vendor refreshes. Using our newfound gold, we purchased the Returning Pike and the Doom Hammer from Grat the Trader. Hey, so you wanna know what's kinda interesting? A level 1 goblin sells a heart counter to one of the most difficult bosses in the game. No, seriously, buy this hammer, you won't regret it. Whilst we're on this shopping tangent, we also bought the Ring of Flinging from Aaron, all this fancy new gear going towards Shadowcursed, who respec'd into a Throw Barbarian. Unfortunately, all our newfound gold didn't last long, and instead of spending the next 2 hours pickpocketing and partial resting to refresh Volo, we deposited golden items into a bag each level up. Okay, here's another trader exploit which constantly evolves and gets more convoluted each patch layer inputs out. I am going to break the economy with a rat. Yep, a rat. I'm not kidding. It's gonna stand next, therefore. Loot the rat, top purple, open the backpack, which opens my rat, chuck everything in there, and everything to the rat. Close out of them. I'm gonna stand somewhere where they can't see me. Open the rat, open my fish bucket, drag everything over into the icon, take on. Congratulations, you have broken Faerun's economy. Over Evelyn, wouldn't this disqualify you from getting immortalized? If we look at the challenge rules, you'll find that the parameters are very relaxed compared to what I'm doing. The model for even permits use of infinite potions, arrows and elixirs, and even carry weight, which is telling of how difficult this run will be. It was time to take on the Goblin Leaders, and no way could I take them on conventionally. So we're going to employ a little cheeky tech called kidnapping. The order in which you take on the leaders is very important. The entire goblin camp aggros when you attack, draw Ragslan. So we're going to take Minfara on a little walk here. There we go, got it, finally. And after failing my throw roll, she disappeared before my very own eyes. I picked her up and then tried again. Sorry, Minting. Only draw remained, and it was a bit too hard to use the throw kidnap on him, so I used improvised weapon to move and teleport him all the way to this cliff where I shoved him into the water. This put me into combat, but after throwing the closest goblin into the drink, the others were far enough away for me to just flee combat. With the goblin leaders down, we had a party at camp where mummy milkers tried a girl res on Shadowcute to no success, which is fitting because if we're being sweaty metagamers like this, we just have to be kissless, hugless, virgin.
True.
After sleeping, I was clearly mind-fogged in the morning because I leapt into the hostile goblin camp, which ended up being the second death of the run. And speaking of dead runs, this run would be permanently soft-locked if we go to the mountain pass before triggering the cutscene of Alfira. Another matter we had to deal with was Mamikei's personal quest, as I needed her fiery damage. The Paladins of Tyr are no joke in a normal playthrough, so Anders went on a lovely holiday. The rest of them were dealt with gravity. Mamikei burnt up from getting her revenge, and her fucking shit up is definitely a mood I can get behind. But that also burnt me out, so it was time for bed. Alfira finally showed up at camp, meaning we can go to the mountain pass now. So we just let her chill, and mummy milkers went to bed. It was time for a massive gear upgrade. A lot of challenge runners path to Act 2 early because the power spike you get from even just a few pieces of Act 2 gear is so significant. I'll make note of the gear as I pick it up, but I'll explain how they work as I use them in battle. While we were in the mountain pass, we got the Periapter wound closure, Winter's clutches, and the graceful cloth from Esper, and got the Holy Lance helmet from this chest on the roof. Mummy Milkers used invisibility to get past the Death Shepherds, and then she entered the Shadowcursed Lands. The Moon Lantern skip I like to do is as follows: grab a torch and follow my pathing very carefully. The most important part is avoiding the Drider and Harper ambush by going to the south here. Once you arrive near Wraithwind Town, there is a thick fog wall here, signaling where the greater Shadowcursed starts. There's many paths from here, but this is one I take. Here I cast an enhanced leap, jumping as far as I can into the Toll House. The game automatically puts you into turn-based mode, meaning my action and bonus action is refreshed, so I can do another jump and use my action to dash, moving as far as I can before ending my turn. The Shadowcurse ticked me for 5 damage, but that's okay as my jump landed me safely just outside of Moonrise Towers. Heading in, you want to trigger the Kefri cutscene. Then talk to Sorel, who will give you the key to Balthasar's room, which is a functioning moon lantern. This allows you to traverse the Shadowcurse safely. Also, while we're in Balthasar's room, we're going to get a headpiece for Mummy Milkers, and in order to do so, we picked up the heart of the table, interacted with the top right of the bookshelf, and inserted the heart into the pedestal, unlocking a secret room, and inside this room is the Coldbrim hat. Before leaving Moonrise, we went on an absolute shopping spree, and yes, pun intended, the most notable items being the Risky Ring and Ring of Free Action from Mirage, Angelic Reprieves, and the Sentinel Shield from Lantar, and the Drakethroat Glaive and the Neomissa from Roa Moonglow. Leaving the safety of Moonrise, our next destination was the Mason's Guild. We stole the Arcane Acuity helmet chest, and oh boy, having Arcane Acuity in Act 1 is going to be baller. Our last gear stop was Last Lot Inn, and Tally has a lot of incredible items. Maybe that's that's because she's alright, Budgehira. The most notable being the Cloak of Protection, UNT, Upper's Amulet, and just between you and me, the Shake Clear armor is kinda busted. In the second floor of the barn is the Rippling Force Mail, and lastly, the Snowburst Ring is found in the corner of Last Light Inn. All this shopping is pretty low dopamine, so I needed a reset by disrespecting a devil. Fuck you, baby.
You'll excuse me? I must see to urgent matters.
Not just once, but twice. While we're here already, let's go to my favorite fishing spot. And it was pretty chill. The little guys were worth 90 XP, and the captain was worth 110, which is quite a lot considering we're not even level 5 yet. Fishing was very therapeutic, but it didn't last forever, as they wisened up and realized it wasn't just the wind. One Kuatoa had climbed the roof and sniped mummy milkers. Another mistake that I made was I left the moon lantern on the ground as I was fishing, so I wanted to go fetch it. She got revealed when she picked it up, but hey, we're going out fighting, so she managed to shove the fish and shoot one down before getting killed by the same rooftop sniper. Hey, at least she has a moon lantern. Maybe Act 2 enemies were a bit too much for us, so we return to Act 1. Here, I geared up the girls. You can find the full details in the Honor Mode Party template link in the description if you're interested in the builds I started with, but they did go through some alterations, which I'll try to explain when the equipment is used. Perhaps now we're strong enough to take on the Grove fight. Meet the Ice Archer. A very simple modification to my Stealth Archer build. You need 2 ingredients: a bow enchanted with bias damage, provided by the Drakethroat Glaive's ability, and the Snowburst Ring. Each hit with cold damage will create a 4.5 meter ice surface, and since each and every one of our attacks will now do cold damage, it is going to proc all the time. Before returning to the Underdark, we grabbed an antidote off the mantle from the potion seller's house in the Blighted Village and used it to bottle feed a gnome who gave us her shoes. Using those shoes and the brand we got earlier to gain safe passage across the lake, we decided to fight the mimics because I thought it would be a fairly safe fight to take if we used the terrain to our advantage. Not much to say here really, we just stood on top of the rock, attacking the mimics from above. Laezel had a whoopsie. Oh fucking hell. Laezel no. Shadow Bulb really carried the damage. However, the mimics pulled Shadowcute into the Shadow Realm. Oh, don't get Shadowcute. Please don't get Shadowcute. Jesus fucking Christ, man. After all that nonsense, we got the Wondrous Gloves, which adds +1 to AC, but spending 13 minutes for 225 XP wasn't very efficient. So then we decided to do our favorite sport of tossing short people into the abyss. Miss Milkers is just taking everyone for a little walkie, you know. After running into Duegar, we decided to move on to the gnomes. Dude, that was a good scream. Reaching level 5, a massive breakpoint for the party, given we all get extra attacks. And with each level up, Auntie Ethel was a sweetheart, putting our favourite traits aside. Remember Arabella from the start of the playthrough? Here's how to get an infinitely attacking undead child to help you speed through the Underdark on your playthroughs. Don't worry about any moral shortcomings as the children yearn for the mines. Step 1. Have Arabella step on a Lego. Step 2. Pick up her body. Raph will confront you, but don't worry, 90 gold should shut him up. Trust me, it's a worthwhile investment for our young intern. Step 3. Have Glut join your party. Step 4. I highly suggest doing the step away from prying eyes, as people have hang-ups with child labor. Right-click on Arabella and click Loot. Add your finest weapon here. Step 5. Drag and drop the strength elixir on the ground. Step 6. Gently put Arabella down on the ground, careful not to hurt her. Step 7. Have Glut reanimate her with his animating spores ability. Step 8. Select Arabella and use the throw action. Your weapon should be selectable. Throw this weapon on the ground and then right click and to equip. Step 9. Finally left click the elixir of Hill Giant strength on the ground. This should give our budding intern 21 strength, greatly increasing her hit rate and work ethic down in the Underdark. Congratulations, you now have an infinitely attacking intern that does not enter alter the turn order. This is because she has the child flag. She can throw, shove, and do all your laborious tasks as you sit down and relax. Do be careful, she only has 6 HP and is susceptible to the death condition. Oh whoops, my finger slipped. Oh man, he's got initiative. Run, Arabella. Milkers was paralyzed and I wanted to protect my intern. Laezel for an invis potion at Glut so he could safely evacuate, whilst Miss Milkers suffered a workplace accident. Giving your little intern a break, let's go upgrade our bow. Since we messed up getting the Titanstring the first round, the Centaurum were very angry. Our mission, kill Grym, and our strategy, shooting a darkness arrow and using the dread ambush to hide in this darkness to completely break the AI. Using this technique, I could probably solo most encounters, but darkness arrows only last 3 turns and they were a consumable, so I brought the girls in to make it quicker. And speaking of quick, gravity was going to be our most cost-efficient strategy, with Laezel yeeting a stinky doggo, 1 roaring thunder arrow, and a second. We were finally able to reap the ultimate reward, a Titanstring bow, the strongest bow across all acts in BG3. Do you think they'll nerf this bow in patch 8? Do let me know in the comments. With the Titanstring in hand, it was time to spice up our weapon a little. Did you know you can use Draconic Elemental Weapon on as many weapons as you want? For this trick, you need the Drakethroat Glaive, purchased from Roa Moonglow and Moonrise. If you have the Drakethroat Glaive in your hand, you can travel in between regions to refresh it. As long as traveling has a loading screen, it will work. So cast Draconic Elemental on your first weapon. Here I traveled to another region and cast Elemental Weapon Cold on my Titanstring to prop my Snowburst ring on each hit, keeping the Drakethroat Glaive equipped. Travel to another region. Use your refreshed glaive on another party member's weapon and travel back again to refresh the glaive. Repeat these steps as many times as you want. Just remember to pick up your weapons. Another sneaky trick is to put all these enchanted weapons into a chest and travel to another region. Long rest and travel back to find that all your weapons have kept their enchantments. It was time to take on our first boss with a legendary action. Call me cheesy, cheap, or whatever you wish, but I'm not going to give any boss a chance, especially when they have 4 actions and bonus actions. That means they have a lot of mobility to reach my team on any turn, and enough damage to wipe my entire party in a single turn. Our first boss of choice was near the Drow. Let me show you why I picked up the Arcane Acuity helmet. Arcane Acuity is a broken mechanic in BG3, and if you haven't tried it out, you definitely should. How am I going to build Arcane Acuity? Here I placed boxes so I could easily shoot them, and placed 2 smoke powder bombs next to the rubble. With everything in place, I started shooting boxes to build up my Arcane Acuity, and then shot a fire arrow to clear the debris. Each stack of Arcane Acuity adds a +1 to spell save DC and attack rolls. With 9 Arcane Acuity, my hold person had a 95% chance to succeed or near. Now, Hold Person and Hold Monster is one of the most powerful disables you can have in this game. Let me tell you why. Firstly, you remove the enemy's ability to take a turn, provided they don't save. Secondly, you remove their reactions. And there are plenty of nasty ones in Honor Mode. And lastly, my favorite, any attacks within 3 meters are guaranteed critical hits. Near might have 491 HP, but that really just meant that the bondage session lasted a bit longer than usual.
There's an illithid parasite in that corpse.
With Near Down, we got an extra space gummy, but more importantly, the Disintegrating Nightwalkers, giving one of the girls immunity to slipping on ice, which is going to be handy because Miss Milkers is an archer who can cover the battlefield with ice. Grym was in our sights next, and a useful item I generally like forging is the Adamantine Shield for the crit immunity. The slimes or oozes in this area are terrifying, so we jumped right past them with an enhanced lead featherfall combo, finding a skeleton with the shield mold. Next we needed mithril ore, and let me show you a trick. Make sure you're snaking and sneak into this little dip near the lava. Shoot a darkness arrow and then stand up. You may be surprised, but combat doesn't trigger, allowing you to sneak or teleport out. These magma methods might have extra HP, but vulnerability is a very important weakness to look out for in BG3. With that being said, they have a vulnerability to cold damage, so Miss Milkers drew an ice arrow striking her first target with 45 damage. Not bad. Firing arrows from the high ground and a good distance away from the Mephits, they had no idea what hit them, and they ran around like headless chalks. After dispatching the last one, we used our favorite mining tool to grab the mithril ore. Did you know you can choose a lava elemental if you lure him here? Anyways, time for the main event, Grym. There was absolutely no way we were going to take this fight conventionally. His slam attack does 48 damage with a maximum crit of 64. He has 4 attacks, not to mention mobility to cover the entire arena. So I'm going to stand on the high ground and start the fight by shooting the lava valve. Remember how I was rambling on about vulnerability earlier? Well, if there's another thing I want you to take away from this video, is that he has bludgeoning vulnerability, meaning you will take double damage from any source of bludgeoning damage. And our source of bludgeoning damage, well, we're just gonna throw shoes at him. Can you imagine getting bludgeoned to death by shoes thrown from a great height? Laezel's shoe throw did 26 damage from this spot, but Shadowcursed did 50 damage because she was from a higher spot and she had Tavern Brawler. 1950 is a lot of HP to go through, so I sent Mama K on a junk collecting mission to fill our inventory full of junk to throw. Don't feel like you have to take this literally, by the way. You don't have to just use shoes. I've had success throwing a lot of junk. Shirts, armors, bows, swords, daggers, shields, you name it. When the Mephit showed up, I just let them fight it out against the big man. We got him down low. Now we don't want to finish him off with a thrown object because we won't get the XP. So with the use of our bow, we gained 875 experience. After jumping down and being impressed by our mess, we picked up the Grim Skull helmet and the Adamantine shield, getting us 2 items that make us immune to critical hits. Let's go see our junior intern again. Okay, now with the Belant, our strategy was to force the shredding scales, otherwise the reaction would shred our fragile intern. With a sharpshooter ranger and a free barb with Tavern Brawler, his armor got shredded turn 1, making our intern's task quite easy. With the bullet down, we checked our level up progress. Oh my god, we're so close, 70. Let's try the Spectator again. Our strategy here was to hit the Spectator and build the Paranoid Dream status to 5. Now with the eyes glowing, we're going to move away and position on the high ground, throwing an object at it to proc its spin to win reaction. Under normal circumstances, this reaction is devastating. The 48 necrotic damage is insane for most parties at this level, and not to mention you have to save against a wound, confuse, frighten, and paralyze. Definitely a no-no for workplace safety with our 6 HP intern. Bella, careful, there's ice there. She bludgeoned the Spectator and took assigned breaks from its legendary reaction, eventually felling our foe and obtaining a level up in the process. With our level ups, we refreshed the vendors again. But let me show a secret because I get asked about this every 2 minutes on stream. I call this little B23 quality of life hack the shopping district. First, we're going to need a character with a lot of strength. Next, find your beloved vendor. Then I'm going to select improvised weapon, and the trick of this next part is to select the location far enough away to give yourself enough reaction time to travel to your desired waypoint. Make sure there is a path and line. Okay, left click to confirm the improvised weapon to make your character lift up the trader and start moving. Whilst in motion, click on a waypoint. Your trader should be kidnapped and teleported with you. Rinse and repeat with as many traders as you wish, creating a super convenient shopping district. As long as the traders can't find a path to their original location, they'll stay where you put them and they'll stay there even for a long rest, so you only need to move them once. Hyena Ear hunting time. These plus any taunts make speed potions, which give you +2 AC, an extra action, and more move speed. For the low cost of a bonus action, they definitely save on a runs. The gnolls are conveniently grouped in the cave, and what better way to take advantage of this than to throw smoke powder bombs. Shadowcursed managed to sneak a free one in before combat started. Halak put up a wall of fire, throw another 2 smoke powder bombs. Oh my lord, to great effect. Fuck yeah. Miss Milk has picked off the stragglers, and it was just Flynn to left, who managed to make it outside of the cave. The Ice Archer proved itself again. All the HP and actions in the world don't matter if you slip and fall on your ass. With Flynn down, we collected all the Hyena Ears from her pack and grabbed an extra space gummy. Next for the ogres. Miss Milk has rained down arrows, scattering ice everywhere, and the girls went in to face tank for her. You've probably seen enemies frozen on the screen, and you're wondering, how am I freezing them? Remember the Coldbrim hat and Winter's Clutches gloves I picked up earlier? Let me explain. Frozen is a huge condition, incapacitating the enemy for 2 turns, meaning they can't act at all. They also gain vulnerability to bludgeoning, thunder, or force damage. And if you want to capitalize on that, doing so will end the frozen condition. The way we get to frozen is via Encrusted with Frost. Now for the juiciest part. When there are 7 or more turns remaining, the entity must succeed a DC 12 con saving throw or become frozen. Using the Coldbrim hat, any spell condition inflicted upon the target also inflicts 2 turns of Encrusted with Frost. There's a really interesting interaction where the spell condition can be encrusted with Frost itself, which means the effect stacks twice per instance of damage, adding 4 turns to the existing duration. Now with Winter's Clutches equipped, whenever the wearer deals cold damage, they also inflict 2 turns of Encrusted with Frost upon the target. With just 2 equipped items, my Ice Archer inflicted 4 turns of Encrusted with Frost per attack, causing enemies to become frozen quickly. Mama K was our first casualty of the team, taking an ogre slap to the face. And we will Shadowcute as well. The remaining girls came out on top. All this trouble was for the headband of intellect, which sets our intelligence to 17, which we'll literally use for 1 check this playthrough. While we're on the tangent of items used for checks, Miss Milkers went back to the Arcane Tower to Misty Step in this exact location, and not Misty Step. In order to get this stuff for Arcane Blessing from the basement, it had been a while since we long rested, and the girls were looking tired. But before sleeping, we went back to Act 2 to deposit all our enchanted weapons, and back to Act 1 to long rest, only to find out Laezel and Shadowheart were having a cat fight.
I won't warn you again.
Just kiss already. Now this was an impossible challenge, so I could die at any moment. So the emphasis won't be too much on role playing, but more on keeping each and every one of my girls alive, so I convince them not to destroy each other, as websites like AO3 have that subject covered in lovely detail. Waking up, we grabbed our enchanted weapons from the chest, recruited the best boy Scratch, and picked up some raspberries. Remember these for later. And returning back to the grove and smashing some boxes to give Karga the bondage experience of her life before Chimera interrupted us for her revenge. Oh shit, dude. Okay, that makes it easy for me. So we've got Broodmother's Revenge in. Whenever we heal, we do 1d6 poison damage. Onto our weapon, that is. We're going to hunt another legendary boss, the Hag. And this time, she had 705 HP, and I don't even want to know what she and her illusions can do with extra actions. I cast See Invus and snuck Miss Milkers in closer for the opening strike, and I didn't have another attack to Darkness Arrow, so I got Laezel to bail us out with a Darkness Arrow. The last attack was a Fire Arrow to splash the ground, which will always hit, burning one of the images from the turn order. Covered by darkness, the Hag's clones didn't do anything. Remember how we got Broodmother's Revenge from Karga? We can proc it without using any action economy by eating a raspberry, and with that Miss Milkers struck true in the Hag, raising her in place. Laezel burned through more Hag images, and we threw a bottle of water at the burning cage as Marina was getting on my nerves. Then it all went wrong. We mistimed the Darkness Arrow expiry, and Laezel got held and deleted. The Hag pulled another trick, imitating Marina. However, we rolled for intelligence by checking the stats and finding the real Marina by scanning for the baby bump before drawing our arrow, striking the real Hag and using our second attack to cover ourselves in darkness. And I was not very good at timing darkness at this point. Wait, what? Oh shit, my darkness ran out. Bro, it's over. Oh, maybe? Oh my god, Miss Milk has riddled her down to over half health, and I was curious to see what the new threshold is for grabbing her hair, so I snuck Shadowcute in to smoke out of the images and finish her turn next to the hag. It clearly wasn't the threshold, as she struck out at Shadowcute, wounding her greatly. Shadowcute raged and attacked back in return, and with both girls ending their turns under darkness. Since Shadowcute didn't hide under darkness, a hag threw a lot of poisonous slime bombs at us, but Miss Melgers managed to survive with 10 HP. She fired her arrow and critted the hag hard, and with 118 HP left, she finally gave up and we acquired the hag hair for Mummy Milkers, increasing her dexterity. Time to take on the spider mama. We threw an alky fire on the egg clutch, and just as I was about to burn the next clutch, the spiders got alerted by the web burning. I might be old, but it looks like I still have those gamer reflexes. Meet the monk. Stunning Strike is very overpowered, and to completely shut down a scary boss like that with one attack is monumental. Our round 1 total was 182 damage between the girls. 10-2, guess what? Stunning, please. Stunning, please. Make that turn free as well. Stunning, stunning. Hell yeah, baby, Mama Kane. She carried the fight hard. And hey, we can't let Mummy Milkers and Shadowcute steal all the spotlight. We also did a very non-traditional spin on this monk build that I can't wait to share with you later. But for now, let's head to the creche. We needed a little arrow top up from Jira. Pussy does solve everything. It's time for the gamer chair. Let's buff up our saving throws. The Stuff Arcane Blessing is used to give Bless a 1d4 bonus. Headbander Intellect gives us +3 to the intelligence check. And Clinging Shadows for the advantage on our saving throws. With 3 successful rolls later, the gamer chair blew up. It was worth it for the ability to use her Lifford powers as a bonus action. The Gift Yankee healer wasn't too impressed by her last work being blown up, but that's okay. She can't really complain when she gets hard disabled. After witnessing Miss Milkers' girl riz, the Give Yankee captain had no choice but to let us through to the Inquisitor's room, where we obtained the Skin Burster. Let's play with our new toy. And the kobolds were perfect for testing it out. They have strength in numbers and are not to be underestimated at all. Jesus, man. Stop attacking me, Bissing. But we're going to use their amount of attacks to our advantage. Here I turn Laezel into a raid boss, thanks to our Force Conduit here. First, let me explain how we get stacks of Force Conduit. Thanks to our Rippling Force Mail, every time we take physical damage, we gain 2 turns of Force Conduit. We also get 2 turns of Force Conduit by dealing damage with our Skin Burster. When we reach 5 turns of Force Conduit, the stacks are consumed, and 1d4 force damage is dealt within a 6-meter radius. Now I added a few more goodies on top here. The Holy Lance Helmet makes enemies who miss their attacks roll for a DC 14 Dex saving throw or take 1d4 radiant damage. You didn't think I'd stop there, right? I also added the ice version of the Fire Shield scroll, meaning if an enemy actually lands an attack, they take 2d8 cold damage. Bro just exploded, fucking. Here's the top 10 amazing, incredible hidden secret. If you manage to collect 9 cats in the character's inventory, you'll receive a hidden buff called 9 lives. When you take a hit that would otherwise kill you, the cats will be consumed on death and you'll be revived at 1 HP. The girls returned to the Shadowcursed Lands. Not gonna lie, it was kinda annoying to run around with a moon lantern. Okay, would you believe me if I told you a barefoot, blood-covered woman in her default human underwear managed to finesse a Drider and his goblin gang to leave behind their moon lantern and wander into the Shadowcursed? This moon lantern is a little special. It has a pixie inside who can give us a special blessing, protecting us from the greater Shadowcursed. That's not all, we can actually break the game a little bit with a bell. You know, foreshadowing's a literary device that... Anyways, we returned to the Masons Guild and took on Shadows, who managed to kill Carlo. This battle highlighted that my current build and party comp was not up to scratch. The whole purpose of our excursion here was to obtain the Nox Roll, which is guaranteed to spawn in this chest. It was time for that Moonrise meta mystery. A Moonrise guard surprisingly disappeared from the docks, but he wasn't the only one. As soon after many disappeared without a trace, it was eerily quiet as Shadowcursed picked up a sealed container for the space gummies. Inside the prison, the guards also started disappearing. These mysterious deaths weren't just linked to living things, as two scrying eyes vanished before our very eyes. It was spooky. The murders within Moonrise kept happening without any explanation. But there was one survivor in the prison, a lone paladin. So Arcane Acuity helmet, gonna shoot some boxes and barrels, man.
Being arrested for assault.
Oh, whoopsie. Not my fault, you. Oh shit, man. Here we go. That's one. That's two. That's three. 4. 5. 6. Oh my fucking god, Jesus. Mummy Milkers and Laezel ended up in prison, and Shadowcursed didn't make it. It was up to Mama K to break everyone out of prison, but she got caught trying to lockpick by the same paladin that wrecked our party. Thank God we passed the intimidation roll, because I was too lazy to heal. Maybe we should take our strength elixir, just in case push comes to shove in. With the final guard out of the way, we found our most important belongings and freed the girls from prison. After throwing a guard from the roof, Mama K somehow got spotted in the act. Whilst reviving Mama K, I decided to pickpocket the money back. Then it happened. Scratch snitched on me, the dog. Snitches get stitches. Halson killed us both, adding 2 more to the death counter. The girls were injured, and a long rest was due. However, our butler decided to show up with a dark request for us. Kill Isabel the Moon Maiden and last light in. I mean, who would do that, Ryan? This is the River of Styx, and it got that nickname for a reason. It was the perfect spot for random disappearances. The girls each picked up a victim, and once we had 4, it was just a matter of dumping them into the river. So you're probably wondering how to do this kidnap tech. This one might get me in a watch list, but here is a fun speedrunning tech to spice up your next playthrough, leading to very unexpected and silly results. We're going to learn a new way to kidnap, because sometimes we need to get people out of hostile areas, take them for very long walks, or nab multiple people at once. Credits to Delph for helping me understand how to do it. This is achieved by standing as close as possible to an enemy. Select throw, left-clicking the enemy, left-clicking again to confirm the throw, and immediately right-clicking to cancel it. Now the timing took me hours and hours worth of practice to get right, so don't feel discouraged if you don't get it the first time. It has to be frame perfect. In fact, you have to cancel it on frame 1 of the animation, but let me show you a metaphor that helped me learn this tech consistently. Imagine you are drumming your fingers on the table. Now I want you to drum your index, the middle finger, as fast as you can on your mouse to confirm and cancel the throw animation. There isn't much obvious feedback to let you know if you got it right or wrong, so here's how to diagnose the timing. If the enemy moves, you are too slow. If nothing happens, you are too fast. Now you can run around with your newly kidnapped friend. If you jump while carrying them, they'll disappear. To poop them out again, all you have to do is cancel an animation. Cancelling the fray animation is recommended, as I've had enemies be invisible when I cancel my jump animation. For our nearly acquired kidnap tech, we made short work of the Moonrise guards. See this necromancer? She's going to find it very hard to cast 4 fireballs from the river. All the throwing and shoving was hard work, so Miss Milkers wanted to wind down with some target practice. And Karnas was the perfect training dummy with over 1000 HP. Attacking from max range and a great height, we are considered too far for the game to pull us into combat. Also, Karnas the Goober kept slipping over my eye surface. If you haven't tried the Ice Archer twist on my stealth build, it is a lot of fun. What wasn't fun, however, were the guards in front of Moonrise. Why didn't I just eat them? Well, they had space gummies that I wanted to eat. Yep, that went as well as I thought. taking a break from Moonrise Towers, we decided to take on the form siblings. The gold lady whose name I cannot pronounce got shoved out of the window, and surprisingly she had normal HP, which I'm very grateful for because the skulls were a different story. In the end, Miss Melka sniped her, as the Fizzlebolty had 14 HP, and that's definitely a no for me. I don't know about you, sweetheart, but I'm yet to see someone out during a noisy farm, alright? On the way to the doctor, we fought some shadows at the center, losing 2 girls in the process. Frog Mama held her ground. Arriving at the doctor, the receptionist told us to wait in line. I hate waiting, so I related to the barbarian option here and roared at the injustice of it, except there was no voice line or animation. Feeling so disappointed, we threw her into the river of sticks. The doctor was no fun, and with 4 failed dice rolls later, he wasn't too happy with Miss Milkers. I guess we'll come back to the doctor later. We continued our journey across the Shadowcursed Lands, gaining strength by hunting more enemies. Miss Milkers shrouded herself in a darkness arrow before touching this dead raven. Instead of getting ambushed herself, she was the one that surprised the bird brains with a satisfying ice storm. Next, the girls destroyed the torches and fought the shadow doggos, and they had no trouble dealing with them at all whatsoever. Close to the shadow mastiff fight were the measles, and the measles were a wild ride, as one took Miss Milkers quite a fair distance, but they were guarding something quite important. A chest with the Luminous Gloves inside. When the wearer deals radiant damage, the target receives 2 turns of Radiating Orb. Oh, but Evelyn, you don't have a cleric with Spirit Guardians for the radiant damage. Oh, I know, sweetheart. Trust me, we'll do a very unique strategy with these farms. We just need a little bit more XP for now. A mistake was made as Mummy Milkers jumped down and got helicoptered by a slime. She's definitely had a stressful time this playthrough, and I think a work vacation fishing is in order to help her recollect her thoughts. After the relaxing fishing trim, I decided to take on the Shar Trials. The soft step trial wasn't too bad with a cheeky little shortcut jump through the window here. In the self-same trial, I decided to make it easier on myself by stripping the girls of their weapons and equipment, not because I wanted to look at the bakery, but because it makes the encounter a cakewalk. That is, unless you're playing this impossible challenge. The enemy Shadowheart had 286 HP and did a terrifying battle cry. They may be unarmed, but they have a horrendous amount of attacks. Bro, stomp. Stomp. Stomp.
I need healing.
Stomp. Stomp. Shadowheart was enraged by her teammate going down, and she held Mummy Milkers with a potion, and it was their turn again. Shadowheart might have damage resistance from her frenzy, but she could not outpace the amount of punches, nor keep up with the healing required. Mummy Milkers died in the fight. But the copies disappeared after they knocked down Shadowheart, leaving her downed but not dead. With all these deaths, we really needed a break with a little retail therapy, only to be met with another problem. Tally disappeared, and I was in full panic mode. This was definitely not alright by Jaheira. I searched far and wide for the most gorgeous trader. A tragic turn of events, but we had to keep going. Back to the final Shar trial. Larian has patched out a lot of cheese with this one, so it's time for a PSA. This trial is so broken that no method works every single time. Solving it the way Larian intended by using this map on the floor is the most consistent option. Nothing is guaranteed to work every time with this janky ass trial. I avoid this room on a solo run for a reason. My goodness, I can't believe we found Tally. Next up was getting the Spear of Night. Miss Milker. We stealth-archered the Librarian and the first Justicia before combat started. With the power of gravity, and then we faced the final boss of the library. A riddle. With only 8 intelligence, it wasn't exactly our strong suit, but after trying many solutions, we finally opened the door and got the Spear of Night. Then what you want to do is put your Umbral Gems. Nah, I'm just messing with you. I'm just going to cast Knockout. With the final waypoint to the Shadowfell unlocked, we can come back when we're actually ready for the finale of Act 2. Time for a change of scenery. The creche was a great time. We made new Githyanki friends who wanted to try base jumping in the mountains. Oh, there's the scream. We got invited to a practice knife fight as well, and Miss Milkers managed to win her match. It was seriously so fun. Dude, they even had theme park rides. I want to go on a ride. Magic carpet ride. On a magic carpet ride, a whole new world. positive reviews for base jumping came in, so the girls took on group after group, sharing in the joy of a thrilling sport. We had our sights on the Inquisitor next. The girls kidnapped a guard Age, but as soon as it went down, we aggroed into the Inquisitor fight, and the Githyanki the other girls were holding returned to their original location. Let's take on the Inquisitor in a fair fight. Miss Milkers initiated combat by targeting the crossbow-wielding raider for 70 damage before ending her turn, hiding in the cover of darkness. Her next turn, she fired at him again, and the Inquisitor reacted by casting a psychic sword right next to her. Little did she know that her arrow many targets would bounce to the sword and make her fall flat on her ass. That was attempt 1. For attempt 2, Miss Milkers opened fire on the Githyanki Raider again. I wanted Mama Cane Bazel up close and personal with the Inquisitor, so I invis them in with our fiery monk, managing to prone the Inquisitor, putting a stop to his reactions for this turn. Then our Ranger Mama spread ice everywhere with a multi-target arrow, and then set her sights on the crossbow Gith again. Oh, that's it. He's frozen. That's an awesome hit. Frog Mama practiced her golf swings, and then it was finally the Inquisitor's turn. Oh my god, he slipped over. This is fucking winning. The Githyanki were in full panic mode as the Arden tried to shove him for some reason. Laezel managed to hit her disarming attack. Oh yeah, that's fucking good. That's fucking good. And we made sure he didn't have access to his sword by picking it up as swimmingly as his engagement was going. We have to remember that they have absurd HP pools, and with the amount of actions they have, it only takes one bad turn for us to go back to the main menu. The Githyanki Raider misty stepped and shot a barrage of arrows at Miss Milkers, knocking her down. Remember all the Radiating Orb gear we've been collecting? I want you to meet the Radiating Orb Monk build. Let's break it down. Our Luminous Armor inflicts a Radiating Orb in a 3-meter radius, and the Luminous Gloves supply 2 turns of Radiating Orb whenever we inflict Radiant damage. Where is the Radiant damage coming from? Well, when we have a level 6 Monk, we have the ability to apply Radiant damage to our punches via Manifestation of Soul. Whenever our enemies miss their attacks against us, the Holy Lance Helmet inflicts Radiant damage if they fail a dex saving throw. Each stack of Radiating Orb means a -1 to attack rolls, stacking up to a -10 maximum. So missed attacks trigger our helmet to deal Radiant damage, which adds 3 more stacks of Radiating Orb, which increases the chance to miss even further, creating a perpetual cycle, meaning we rarely get hit. The Inquisitor met his demise at the hands of Mama K, and old Dairy Mother fell as well. The fight took a lot of resources, so I wanted to rest, so I headed towards the secret passageway, only to realize I was not thinking, fuck, this is Laezel, and she has permanently left our side. And our mistakes are permanent on Honor Maid. She had transformed into an actual raid boss with 19 AC, 416 HP. She also had the majority of our potions and the vital gear needed for the completion of our run. With just a single hit point, Mummy Milkers left the room, and drink she did to recover her vitality. And speaking of drinking, no matter how much damage I did to our Frog Queen, she had access to 4 bonus actions to fully heal and invis. It really hurt to hit her, both emotionally and physically, because her Force Conduit retaliated with our attempts. Not to mention any damage we do, the Heavy Armor Master reduced the damage by 5. With 19 AC, the hit rate on my Ranger was a measly 51% with advantage on her. It was Laezel's turn, and she used our Greater Invisibility Scroll and healed several times. I didn't know what to do, so I just ended Karlak's turn, prepared to face the worst. And the worst did happen. Laezel did not take a turn, and the game seemed to have soft-locked itself. Is the game broken? Well, I can't do my turn here. I literally can't move a character here. Okay, we had a little bit of a dilemma in our hands. I know we'd choose and break the game, but because of my mistake with Laezel, I felt like it would be against the spirit of Honor Mode to Alt F4 and reload here. Then it occurred to me, we still had Shadowcursed, so she snuck into the Inquisitor's room and headed straight into the prism, which seemed to have worked because it restored Mummy Milker's ability to stab again. Exiting the prism, Laezel was waiting by the door. I wasn't sure I could kill her, so I stole some of my stuff back, which went went great until I got caught. Laezel might have incredible defense, but her offense definitely could not keep up with the Radiating Orb being applied to her. The girls wore it down bit by bit until Laezel finally fell by frying herself trying to attack Karlach. We are here today in memory of Broodmother, whose strong shoulders carried us through Act 1. She had high AC, Force Conduit. She stood strong against our many foes. Unfortunately, she has passed today. Dude, this is so sad.
For the funeral cost.
With a heavy heart, we needed another companion to aid us during our adventure. Deep down, no one could live up to Bazel. Will was dead from the grapevine. Gal did lend a hand, but in a different kind of way. And Astarion was off living his best life with the Ger Hunters, I assume. Introducing Fuckhead. With a new baddie in our squad, we headed back to Last Light Inn and very lazily barricaded the door, knowing full well that Isabel is a bit of a dumbass. The fight started, and surprisingly, Marcus had normal HP, which meant he got deleted before he could act. Oh, fucking. The barricade did work, but the winged horrors came through the other entrances. Oh, ow. Jesus, man. Bruh. Save her. I opened the door to see if I could bounce my arrow, which didn't work, and if anything, it caused me more trouble as 2 more horrors flew into the room. Oh lord. Oh my god. Isabel was in trouble, and I needed a galaxy brain moment to save her. Here's how to heal over 250 HP with the cost of 1 action. Throw a caustic bulb. Then split your potions. And whenever we drop a potion into this caustic brine, we break the potion, splashing Isabel with the healing source, getting her up and running again, which didn't last too long because next turn she got fucking blasted again. You know what I should have done in the first place? Throw an invis potion at her. With the last winged horror down, Last Line managed to stay standing.
Are you all right? I'm fine.
Are you really though, Isabel? With extra necrotic resistance from Isabel, I decided to take on Balthasar. I snuck around and got the Callous Glow Ring, which deals an additional 2 radiant damage against creatures that are illuminated. Perfect for our Radiating Orb Monk, and with that we took on the portal fight, which turned out easier than expected because the portals didn't have extra HP. For Balthasar, I recommend buying the speed potion off him so he doesn't use it during battle. Nervously, barricaded herself in the corner, being scared of the potential 4 actions of Cloud Kill. Unfortunately, she aggroed everyone by moving the brazier. Oh shit, okay. She scattered ice everywhere with a multi-target arrow and hid in darkness for a turn. The perfect chance to see how the Stormy Clamor boots work out on Mama K. Impressively, the Radiating Orb condition also triggers reverberation stacks. And let's just say Flesh did not have a good time. And neither did Balthasar as he fell flat on his ass trying to hit Mama Kane. Rose frozen. We actually bullied Flesh quite a bit and he just gave up on his turn. Oh, he slipped again. Oh, is he gonna make it? Oh, he walked that way. Then he gave up. I actually felt sorry for him, so I didn't ice arrow him for a turn, but it seems Mama K was too hot for him to handle. Balthasar was sniped and it was just the big Flesh man left. Between freezing and slipping on each and every one of his turns, he did not have a good time. That fight gave us a lot of confidence, so much so that I decided to take on the Yogurt Man. I sent in Mama K to start things rolling, but she had terrible initiative, getting attacked for what seemed like an infinite amount of times by the Americans, resulting in her getting knocked unconscious and shoved off the ledge. Miraculously, she managed to survive the fall, so Fuckhead threw potions at her to fully heal her up before leaving Mama K on her lonesome. She finally got a turn, so she used the ice version of Fire Shield and positioned in the doorway to avoid the crossbow attacks. The enemies were relentless and got Mama K down to 6 HP. On her next turn, she healed and used a speed potion for 2 extra AC. Hopefully, it helps. And that extra AC did, as enemies were barely able to hit her and the radiating orbs were spread everywhere. Feeling good about the setup, we commit Mummy Milkers to lend a hand with damage. Oh, that's juicy. With the enemy numbers diminishing, it was time to shift our focus onto Yu-Gi-Oh! Karlach tossed a smoke powder bomb to break his invisibility, only for us to realize that all the damage riders on her gear were actually crazy. With Karlach injured, Ms. Melkus threw a potion to heal her, only to realize she might have thrown it a bit too hard, with the impact killing her. This is why speed potions are handy. She exchanged her bonus action for one and used the Revivify scroll to undo her mistake. This time she threw the potion next to her. Mama K was still in the red with her health, but thanks to her high AC, the Yoga Man couldn't touch him. But rather unfortunately, he went invisible. But he was no match for the keen sense of a ranger. He used a nice arrow to reveal him, and then a thunderous arrow to yeet him off. The Yoga Man didn't seem too happy about that, but that's okay. Let me show you a little prank. I'm going to Shield of Thralls here and force an opportunity attack to pop it.
I must heal.
Stunning the Yoga Man with our silly prank. Waking up from his stupor, he immediately went for Karlach, but since he missed his attack, the reverberation knocked him onto his ass. The battle raged on, and everyone's portrait was in the red. As a last-ditch effort, the Yoga Man spread bombs everywhere, and even had a cheeky giggle about it. So we picked up as many as we could, and Miss Milkers put a stop to his laughter. Oh shit. Oh shit, they actually fucking explode. Feeling nervous about walking around with ticking bombs on 1 HP, we decided to send them all to Halcyon. The Yu-Gi-Oh fight took a lot out of us, so we put our enchanted weapons in a chest and swapped areas before resting. It would be nice to visit our intern again while we're in this region. You've been a good intern, my sweetheart. Let's pay the doctor a visit and get our revenge. So I found this little sniper hole in the roof where I tried to pick him off, which really didn't go to plan, but being on the roof was advantageous because we used gravity to deal with the nurses. Taking the battle inside, Mama K got up close and personal with a radiating orb build while the girls chipped away at his health pool. That was until I missed Melkus. Karlach but stabbed hard, but that's why she has the parry after wound closure. When she heals with this amulet equipped, it heals her for the max value of the potion, so she has crazy sustain. The battle went on and on, but it was worth it to put down another of the twisted forms. Do it to him, Shadowcursed.
Shall be done.
Now this was a pretty important boss for us this playthrough, as he has the Surgeon's Subjugation Amulet, which will solve one of the hardest fights in Act 3. Outside the hospital, we fought the shadows with Miss Milkers on the roof and the girls in front. I thought my fight strategy was pretty solid. Okay, maybe not. Mate our next stupid fight choice, the Meanlocks. I'm definitely going to give Mama K the Ring of Reaction, which gives immunity to paralyze, and with that she proceeded to light up the room with radiating orbs. Let me show you what it's like fighting these guys without the Ring of Reaction. You know what was strange? Fuckhead has crit immunity, and even though she was paralyzed, the Meanlocks missed her. This seems like a strange interaction of the anti-crit armor and paralysis, but I'll take it. I didn't have the confidence in this fight, so I healed Shadowcursed and ran her outside. Miss Milkers didn't make it. But the Meanlocks had almost no chance of hitting our remaining girls, so they were obliterated. Exploring the Shadowcursed Lands, we picked up a Night Orchid for Shadowcursed.
Oh, hells. You didn't pick that by hand, did you? They're deadly poisonous. Joking!
Shadowcursed, well, cuteness actually inspired us to come up with a new combat strategy. Meet the arrow of Roaring Thunder. These little trees weren't enough to sate my appetite, so I sent Mummy Milkers in solo to face the shambling mound, changing her bow to the Neomessa for the force damage, because this aggressive mulch is immune to piercing damage. Under the cover of greater invis, she climbed up the ladder and unleashed an ice storm, followed by another. The majority slipped on the ice, and a final ice storm was cast, breaking greater invis. But that's okay, she hid behind a chest which broke the enemy AI. I had the bright idea of using a wall of fire to burn the enemies while I hide. Then I had the realization that this was going to take longer than the duration of the scroll. So I resorted to our favorite strategy, gravity, but with arrows. It felt like a game of golf, slowly pushing the shambling mound towards the abyss. Fucking hey. Gamer. We returned to Moonrise Towers on our quest for level 9. Do you want to see a gamer move? See this chandelier? Oh my god. 393 HP then. We even found a mimic eye sculpture next to Kefrik's room. Yo, what the tongue do? My curiosity got the better of me, so I sent an invisible Miss Milkers to the roof to scout. Kefrik's always been tough to hit with 22 AC, but that is a beefy 943 HP. Might as well get rid of the Necromancer while we're here. Now, Sorrel had his face gummy, so I couldn't just send her swimming in the river of stinks. I think it was at this point I realized gravity damage was proportional to the enemy's HP. We did an incredible jump down, and while we're here we filled up some holes, then roosted some rats. Hey look, they're 500% HP. They're scary, okay? There was one important thing left to do at the tower.
Foot flesh.
Hey yo, a foot fetish. I personally think the winged horrors are misunderstood and maybe a little relatable.
The feet are mine.
Oh my god, the feet are his.
Get away!
Rose fainting for the feint. Just a serious disclaimer that I've no interest in feint, and whatever feint comments I make on my channel are ironic. We continued scouring across the Shadowcursed Lands for more experience. As we were close to level 9, we got revenge on the stupid slimes that helicoptered Mummy Milkers many nights ago, countered the Gif Yankee ambush by kidnapping their captain, who countered us back by rolling initiative and shoving us off. 800 HP may be a lot, but the River of Styx claims all. The Gif Yankee were made out of a lot of XP, but with that came the danger. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Not going to last much longer.
7 fucking attacks, man. With one final push, we leveled up. Actually, scratch that. Not everyone leveled up, so we kidnapped a random hopper to seal the deal. We refreshed the traders each time the girls leveled up and stuffed each container filled to the brim with supplies, withdrawing all the goodies once we were done. One final long rest was taken as we prepared for the final stretch of Act 2. Before I take on Kefrik and Merkel, I like to stack on as many buffs as possible. The girls returned to the Mountain Pass to get Morning Lord's Radiance, which adds an additional 1d4 radiant damage onto weapon attacks. Wouldn't it be a shame if I immediately lost the buff for Mummy Milkers by trying to be too cute? Honestly, I kinda deserved it. Jira put up a big fight, but it was worth it to withdraw our goodies. Might as well get the blood of Lavender while we're here. Our next lot of buffs went to our special girl, Shadowcursed. Visiting the Sharon Sanctuary, she has automatic successes with the statues, increasing charisma, wisdom, and intelligence by 5. And finally, we all prayed to Shar's feet. The Ultra Shar. The girls all rolled for Night Singer's favor, with only Shadowcursed and Mama K passing theirs. Night Singer's favor grants resistance to necrotic damage until our next long rest, and it also stacks on top of Isabel's blessing. We entered the Shadowfell, and we had to make a decision about the Night Song's fate. Surely our level 8 Asima with 510 HP and 4 action points will serve us well in battle, right? That was my line of thinking, freeing her from her prison, and nothing to do with Shadowcurs's white hair at all. Leaving the portal, we return to Last Light Inn for one final time. Oh my goodness, this was not planned at all. You did not just do that. I just did, sweetheart. Can anyone tell me? Well, we saved Isabel just to kill her. It was time for the Kefrik showdown, baby. The girls summoned their respective alley bros. Water, earth, fire, water. No, the first one was air, sorry. And the girls drank a fly potion from ability and cast blur so the attacks against them have disadvantage. The battle started, only for me to realize the girls went groups and it was just Mummy Milkers up there. Well, that pre-fight premp was flushed flushed in the toilet and we lost positioning, so I had to think on the fly and fly Miss Milkers did onto the pillar for high ground. Nice. That's a very good start. The poor girl has died a lot this playthrough, so to protect her, I flew her onto another pillar and hid. I haven't heard the shadow scream in a while. Let's go, Shadowcursed. Seriously, I can't wait for Aylin's debut. Our turn came around again, and Miss Milkers pronged 4 skeletons, while Shadowcursed pronged the big man himself. Mama K stunned him again and again. Let's go.
Enough.
After the fight, my intrusive dark urges almost took over, but I wanted to be alright for Jaheira. So let's make a bet, everyone. If Jaheira survives the Merkle fight, she deserves a permanent slot in my party. And with that being said, I kidnapped Granny and went inside the hole, AU. Okay, everyone, please listen. I say this time and time again, please do not underestimate the elevator boss. It can and will break you on a mode save if you do not heed my warning. A trick I like to do is back out to the main menu and load back in to reset the environment, and it has been very consistent for me. I get a lot of questions on stream about how to prepare for this fight, so in hopes that it'll help you, my dearest viewer, let's go through a complete pre-fight check. On Miss Belkers, we decided to go with the Neomissa hand crossbow, the main reason being our damage type changes from piercing to force damage, solely due to Merkle having extreme resistance to piercing damage. The flawed Helldust helm and gloves were put on for the strength saving throws, which helps against his arena-wide suck attack. Bucket setup was simple. The light shed from the blood of Lathander can blind undead within 6 meters. If they fail a con saving throw. Mama K's lowdown was our secret source Radiating Orb Monk setup. Juiced up on a Cloud Giant elixir, their strength was a whopping 27. Shadowcursed was going to be my magnum opus against Merkle. Doom Hammer, baby. Do you know why we're using the Doom Hammer? Edge of Terror. Are you edging? Each strike fills the target with a chilling dread that prevents it from regaining hit points. Undead creatures get disadvantage on attack rolls. When we hit Merkle with this hammer, even if he eats a Necromite, he doesn't heal. If anything, it actually benefits us because he got rid of one from the turn order. Also to note that the Bone Chill effect from the Doom Hammer lasts for 2 turns, whereas the Bone Chill cantrip and Nil Mart arrows will wear off at the end of his turn, meaning they're kinda useless compared to the Doom Hammer. One of the best spells in this fight is Protection from Evil and Good. It prevents you from being frightened by Merkle's reaction, and it gives every enemy in the room disadvantage on their attacks against you. Finally, with an Elibro each, the gear check and preparations were complete, and it was time to execute our plan. I cast Greater Invis on Mummy Milkers and Center in Zoe, with the intent of causing as much damage to this 447 HP Mind Flayer as possible. The potential threat of it stunning my team or mind controlling Aylin was a risk I needed to eliminate as soon as possible. Critical after critical, she shot into the Mind Flayer, with it losing roughly half of its HP before our stealth rolls gave in. By initiating the fight this way, we triggered a surprise round, which as an assassin allows us to guarantee crits. Oh no, not the miss. Fuck, man. She fired another and another. Deciding to make the most of this surprise round, she drank a speed potion for the final attack of her turn. With 71 HP left, we opened with 376 damage. The Mind Flayer being alive did not sit well with me, so I sent Shadowcursed in. Reckless attack, maybe? Do it again. Oh, Shadowcursed, that's the way to go. With the help of her speed potion, she finished the Mind Flayer. Aylin was then freed, and the elementals were put on the flanks, keeping the Necromites busy. MM's job this battle was on crowd control, targeting the intellect of ours and the Necromites. Mama K punched Kefrik to stack up the Radiating Orb, so he misses our gals. And here's where the Earth Elemental earns his Elibro nickname. His opportunity attack knocked Grandpa flat on his ass. I present to you the waltz of Dame Aylin, an angel who decided to run at Kefrik instead of flying. All my faith and hope into Aylin just disintegrated. She's actually fucking useless. Remember how I said I'd recruit Jaheira if she survived this fight? It was time for this Panthers, trial by fire, so fuckhead threw her into the initiative order. With all that being said and done, we all know who the real Angel of Death is. The Apostle of Merkel. With 1100 HP, 4 actions and bonus actions, he was going next in the turn order. Miss Melkers aimed a Darkness Arrow right at his face. This was to blind him and no one else in the arena. It was finally time for our Shadowcute carry to shine. Reckless Attack gives her advantage for the round, and the levels in Thief give her a second bonus action. She smacks him 3 times with the Doom Hammer, completely negating his ability to heal, but sparing a bonus action to heal herself. How can you heal in the arena? The aura has a limited radius, and there's just enough room on the platform for you to get out of it to heal. It was Merkel's turn, and he did a massive AoE smite, and on his second swing, he turned to Autobro, and it was here that I had a massive realization. There was no radiant damage, meaning he didn't use a smite, which would make sense because during the Kefik phase of the fight, Aelin absorbed smite after smite from him. So does that mean Aelin isn't completely useless after all? Speaking of useless, now fuckhead has been useless all game, but now is her time to shine. She coated her mace in the oil of accuracy and went for the disarming attack, hoping to make Merkel drop his scythe. She missed. Action surged, missed again, but when she hit, Merkel saved. It wasn't ideal, but hey, at least we're burning through his legendary resistance. Let's turn to Mama K, who has been holding onto her key points the entire Kefrik phase. Her first stunning strike, Merkel did save, but her second, however... Oh my fucking god. True legendary resistance. The monk stun is so broken. Merkel had to roll at least 20 to save against it. I don't even want to talk about Aelin's turn. It was honestly so strange seeing Miss Melkers take a backseat and be on cleanup duty. Our Ellie bros covered the flanks and eggs. With Merkel stunned, he had no reaction to Shadowcute smack him. Mama K stunned him again. Let's go, fucking. Aelin did her best with a 4 damage crit, and we kept on top of getting rid of the eggs. Fuckhead used all of her superiority dice, but no success, but not to worry, as Karlach stunned the Bone Boy again. Jaheira decided to finally show up for a bite, but immediately went invisible, and the shadow screams kept coming, delivering blow after blow. I decided to use an angelic reprieve for Fuckhead, so she gets her superiority die back. That's actually cute, she's sleeping on the job. And Mama K was stunning as usual. I cannot make this shit up. Aelin is an actual fucking troll. She decided to shove Fuckhead from her angelic sleep to wake her up, and Jaheira was contributing. What is Jaheira doing? Mama K went for a stunning strike but didn't have the resources. She took a speed potion and ran out of the aura to use wholeness of body for the heal and to start regenerating key points, then came back in for a stun. Fuckhead decided to take another nap, and she couldn't pace as Mama K stunned Merkel yet again. Never mind, Aelin shoved her again. She shoved me, dude. I wanted to sleep. With a nice force crit from our Neomissa, the Apostle of Merkel was 1 strike away from becoming bone dust. Go on, Shadow Sweet. Beat his ass. With one of the hardest bosses down for the impossible challenge, let's take a moment to reflect on Aelin's incredible contribution. And thank you, sweetheart, for leaving this comment. Aelin, she had 71 actions and did 147 damage, which averaged out to be 2.1 damage per action. Include Moonbeam, and that's 170 total damage and 2.4 damage per action. Wow, amazing. You know how I said I'd recruit Jaheira if she survived? She kind of just hopped around the fight and did nothing, so I don't think she deserved a role in my party. So I tried to yeet her down the hole, but that didn't work. I knew she was gonna ice storm, so I threw her further away and blinded her with a darkness arrow. Read you like a book, honey. As much as a jest, I wanted to be alright for Jaheira, so I turned on non-lethal to knock her out instead of killing her. Aelin, no! Aelin, no! Aelin, no! Aelin! Dude, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Aelin's... With Kevrik's Neverstone in hand, we took the road to Baldur's Gate. Our butler then surprised us with a gift, allowing us to transform into the Slayer form, and we repainted him in kind with a bit of penetration. The girls made camp, and we were only one night away from the city. Maybe just this once, we're gonna get a peaceful night's sleep.
We're under attack! Fight your way to the portal. I need your help.
Never mind, we got interrupted by green space frogs, but fortunately, they were nice enough to leave a portal open for us. So we're gonna mishish them. See you later, alligator. Now, the astral prism fight is no joke, and we were running low on strength elixirs, so the girls grouped together to share a bottle. The battle started. We rolled terribly for initiative, but luckily the brain cats were there to take the damage. The gravity is our friend here, and Miss Milk is opened up with 2 roaring thunder arrows, both failing to hit their mark. Fuckhead jumped next to the problematic Give Yankee of the Hold Person spell and yeeted her into space. We tried our luck with the Thunderous arrows again, and it took 3 to send this guy flying. There we go. Shadowcube leapfrogs, like Give Yankee to death. Damn, Shadowcube's so strong. Down to 1 Space Toad. The MP completely surprised me. Oh my god, Chain Lightning turn 1. With 1 enemy left, I thought I'd fight failing. Hey, to be fair, the monks as well, and they could do the same to us. This gift got knocked over, clobbered, turned into a pincushion, and even mauled by brain cats. The Emperor stood in shock, witnessing the girls at work. No, really, his AI actually broke, and he literally just stood there, doing nothing. Bro? Is he good? I thought it was fitting here to last hit her with Chain Lightning, because that's what that stupid Squiddy would do. And by saving Squiddy, we obtained a powerful reward, the Astral Gummy. And we needed to empower our party further, so I convinced them to eat it as well. And they were really happy about it. Except for Fuckhead here. It seems that hirelings can't use gummies because they don't have any brain cells. Waking up in the morning, it turns out Shadowcute changed her hair. She's so pretty. And pretty was the change of scenery. The Shadowcursed Lands were dark and gloomy, but seeing such a beautiful country village lifted our spirits. So much so that we shot a random homeless kid with a fire arrow. But that didn't deter her from talking to us at all. There was a circus in town, and we commissioned a statue from Boney, not before stealing a ring from my carvie and getting sent to the jungle. Here we get the Band of the Mystic Scoundrel. After hitting a creature with a weapon attack, we can cast an illusion or enchant spell as a bonus action. It might not sound like much, but it's actually kind of busted. Neurona was also obtained here, and it went onto Shadowcute. Visiting the circus was hard work, so we went to bed, waking up to see our lovely statue was completed. It provides mummy milkers with a wonderful bonus to attack rolls and saving throws until the end of the game. Returning to Rivington, we left Shadowcute at the waypoint in order to purchase the Hellrider longbow from Thurg. By having this equipped, you get a +3 bonus to initiative rolls. A reminder that hygiene is very important on long adventures, and we got a lovely demonstration.
Washing my pits, this is the song when up.
Feeling clean, we decided to make tracks towards the lower city. We didn't have a lower city pass, so we just flew around the side and across the bridge. Heading to Worms Rock Prison, there was someone sleeping on the job, so we helped them sleep permanently. Thanks for the key, sweetheart. We unlocked a secret passage by using lightning arrows. And you know what's satisfying? A bomber. Here, let me show you how to break the answer dungeon. We're going to smooth brain the chess game here by failing it 3 times. And on the 3rd fail, we pop invis, then wait for the fail state to trigger the enemies and break down the door for us. We walked past answer, grabbing the helmet of Balduran, an incredible helmet that gives crit immunity, heals us at the start of each turn, and adds +1 to AC and saving throws. Done with Rivington for now. We head into the lower city, where there was a lovely wine festival where nothing bad happened. But if something bad was going to happen to, let's say, Cora, it might happen like this. The Darkness Harry, 10 based, and Murder in the Dark. Old Maid approached us and requested a hand from our next victim. But on our way, we decided to visit our old friend Damon, but his shop was a bit too expensive, so we knocked him out for a 100% discount. Our next targeted choice was Nesha, who was loitering outside the Blushing Mermaid, with our technique so perfected that guards didn't even notice us as we walked past them. Old Maid approached us again and gave us the key and passphrase the Kendall Hello. But before we could go, we needed something important, the Act 3 Dream. And to do that, we had to save the dressmaker. Hey, I think it was worth it. I swear the elegant robe is canon on Shadowcube. We made our way to Kendall Hello, spoke our passphrase, and took on Dollar. We waited for him to run around the corner, where he proceeded to be ganked by the girls. The Death Knights were weren't too happy, and this was our first proper fight of Act 3, the perfect test bed for our builds. Miss Milkers as a sword bard was severely lacking at only 50 damage per flourish, Buckhead's damage was closely useless, and in Shadowcute's hands, Nalrona caused so much friendly fire that it was unusable. Mama K held the doorway, and the Radiating Orb was still effective. However, it wasn't foolproof. Act 3 enemies have much better attack rolls and spell save DCs, making saving throws more important. As I learned, this Hellfire Orb did a number on my team. It was a very long and grindy battle, and it did highlight that I needed to rethink my team as my Act 2 strategy was outdated. After the Death Knights turned into Dead Knights, we approached the Murder Tribunal, only to learn that Oren has usurped our rightful inheritance. On our path for revenge, we were offered a sacrificial holophant and bathed in blood, rising as an unholy assassin and receiving the Amulet of Baal. Now that we're an unholy assassin, we can purchase what I consider the best items in the game. Ballast armor for applying piercing vulnerability, creature flesh gloves, and Dolomaris were barely comprehensible levels for stacking critical and force damage. Did you know you can find the second dollar on, well, dollar? Now before leaving, Saravok had a very lovely helmet I wanted, so I decided to take him on a walk outside, all the way to the Blushing Mermaid and on top of the mast of the ship. I even positioned my team at the landing zone in case we needed a clean up. Okay, here we go, gamers. Oh my god, that scream. Holy shit, he's dead. I really didn't expect that much damage, but we got his helmet, which reduces the crit threshold by 1. Continuing on with our adventures, we found Volo in distress yet again. After throwing the culprits into the water, we freed him from his predicament. He actually provides a very useful buff for the finale later. I'm embarrassed to admit, but I actually missed the waypoint at the docks my first few playthroughs. The girls are hungry for some space gummies, so we dropped our backpacks for Miss Milkers to build Arcane Acuity, increasing our chances of success with telekinesis on the Stillwatchers. Apparently 90% wasn't enough, but like anything, persistence is the key to success, and with both Stillwatchers in the water, we claimed our prize of 6 space gummies on the ship. Continuing our way across the docks, sneakily opening a chest on the ship spawns the cursed imp. We countered his ambush with a surprise throw. We snuck her in the back of the counting house with greater invis, using mobile slashing flourish to easily flash a Stillwatcher down the toilet. We were here for the XP grind, but unfortunately it didn't take long before we were caught. But Miss Milkers is a menace and she went at it again, eventually getting caught in the process. The alarm sounded and all the guards fired upon her. With 24 AC, barely anything hit her, and she hit them into the water again and again. In fact, I think she was having too much fun. Halfway to level 11, I made a detour to one of my favorite spots at grind XP, Cazadors. At this point, I changed Shadowcute into a Warlock with crit fishing gear, hoping to recreate the success of an earlier solo Warlock build. However, that did mean Miss Milkers had to give up her risky ring, and the build was okay. It did about 70 damage on a crit. If you didn't know, the Creator Flesh Gloves cause your E-Blast crits to fire an additional beam, meaning you can get up to 3 critical hits per E-Blast. However, whenever you don't crit, the damage is kinda sad. Time to fight the fairies, and there were a lot of them in this room. It smelt like wet dog in there, so we heated the place up, which cooked most of the rats and bats. With a Warlock on my team, we can make use of darkness for cover, and we had Mama K standing strong in front. I love this place because the experience here is crazily good and super easy, and we need to come here anyway to improve our build, increasing our crit chance by 0.5% per rat collected. One of my favorite breakpoint classes at level 11 is Fighter, because they get a third attack, so I changed Mummy Milkers into an Eldritch Knight. Combined with Action Surge, Mind Sanctuary, and Terrazol, those 3 attacks can turn into double digits very quickly. What's this Terrazol you speak of? Good question. Welcome to the Lower City Shopping District, presented by yours truly, Morgana Evelyn, where traders have travelled from far and wide to provide you with a truly convenient consumer experience, courtesy of a kidnap tech that can be found on my channel. Meet Savern from the Guildhall, whose Terrazol can set you buzzing with an extra action point. Careful mixing this one with other drinks. Dareth and Oliver have all sorts of potions and elixirs for your adventure. For the archer in your party, Fitz has all your needs covered with a selection of special arrows. And finally, even the toughest challenges can be solved with scrolls from Lorowakan's projection. Okay, with our shopping district established, meet our new hireling, Shadow Kitty, who, as a level 11 druid, shapeshifted into an air myrmidon. See this air myrmidon? If you inspect a real thing, you can see its weapon. So I grabbed its weapon here, gonna put it in my inventory. What's interesting is its weapon action, Electrified Flail, which not only adds additional lightning damage, but has the chance to stun an enemy for 2 turns. And the cooldown, it's per attack roll, so on a level 11 fighter, that's minimum 3 attempts to stun a turn. Let's take it out for a spin against the Sahooligans, who are on the beach because we wanted to take advantage of the wet status. It was a pretty successful trim as we hit for about 50 damage. What wasn't a vibe, however, was the lack of animation due to the fact that the player isn't meant to obtain this. I was willing to overlook this for the amount of stuns I was dishing out. With our little experiment out of the way, it was time to face Oren. My favourite manhole to enter, AU, is near the Blushing Mermaid as it skips a bunch of fighting and gets us closer to Oren. If you're quick on the draw here, you can skip most of the yapping. Even though I have the right to pass the door, I prefer shooting my way past it. And using invisibility, we walked past the Balus ambush. Our butler was all too delighted to see us, and I could say the same, really. 400 XP, fucking. Here's how we took on Oren. Do note, this only works if you have the balls to get rid of a useless cleric in Act 2. Equip the Surgeon's Subjugation Amulet, which paralyzes a humanoid target on crit. And speaking of crit, turn on Luck in the Far Realms to guarantee one. With an Oil of Accuracy, Blur, and Mirror Image, we entered the arena. Miss Milkers had the initiative, and she fired her first arrow. Paralyzing her with the amulet on crit, she made her 3 attacks, and spent her bonus action on Hold Person. Thanks to the band of the Mystic Scoundrel, we drilled crit after crit into the Lesser Assassin. It wasn't so much a duel as it was a slaughter. With Oren's defeat, we accepted our inheritance.
Go, child of Baal. Claim the crown of Karsus. Control the Absolute. And command a horde fit to butcher this world in my name.
We had acquired another Neverstone, and on our way out of the temple, we shoved the Balas into the abyss. They seriously didn't seem to mind whatsoever. To enter the House of Hope, I prefer finding objects around the room and brute forcing the puzzle. I have a confession. I hate balls, especially these ones, and this mod turns them into a literal raid boss. They don't have eyes, so our darkness tactic doesn't help, and their only attack triggers a dexterity save. So our high AC is useless. This thing is resistant or immune to so many damage types. The only person who could do any real damage was Shadowcursed. She drilled it hard with crit after crit, but it has so much health. It took forever, but it was finally over. I'd rather not get rammed by any more hot balls, so let's try another round. We pathed towards the boudoir using the back entrance, AU. Playing with the balls took a lot out of us, so the girls tried to take a sneaky bath but got spotted in the process. Mama K, oh my god. The fight was a breeze compared to the balls, as Harlep got shot down by bondage and proceeded to get fisted. There was no chance in the 9 hells that I was going to let him charm one of my girls. Using Harlep's key, we opened the safe to find 5 more soul coins for Karlak and the passphrase for the Orphic Hammer. Oh fuck's sake, it's the other. Calcium. With the last ball out of the way, we were on the home stretch out of hell. We picked up the Orphic Hammer and also the Amulet of Greater Health, boosting Fiery Mama's HP an amazing 22. Incredible. There was one more piece of gear that we could grab for her, and it was locked behind one of the most annoying NPCs in the game. Let's free hope from Gel, shall we? I sent Miss Shadowcursed in for some stealth warlock action. My expectations were really high because this build popped off on my solo playthrough. Caught in the act, Shadowcursed action surge, popped a darkness spell and hid in it for safety. The spectator flew down and spotted my entire team. And today, I learned that the amps have devil sight. Okay, this spectator somehow managed to resist a 94% hold monster, and with that XCOM-like moment, it was only downhill from here. The last place we should be testing things is during an honor mode challenge. Okay, here's my reasoning. Sheep can't fly, therefore if a polymorph a spectator and throw it off, it should die, right? What a fucking scam, man. Dude, sheep can't fly. A spectator can fly, but not a sheep. The imps retaliated with Eldritch Blast machine guns. Oh, ow, okay. Oh shit. Now with only 2 girls standing, things weren't looking good. Feeling nervous, we revived Miss Milkers, covered her with a globe, and killed a spectator before going up the ladder. In full retreat mode, Bucket left the battle as well, but to my horror, being out of combat meant my globe of invulnerability expired, and Miss Milkers died again. We healed before going back down. Fuckhead popped a globe and rolled horribly on initiative. And did you know that the push from E-Blast can go through globe invulnerability? Thankfully, Mama K was still under the effects of invisibility because the E-Blast barrage would have definitely pushed her off as well. This fight was proving to be more troublesome than I thought, and things were looking hopeless. Unintended, by the way. In our greatest time of need, only Mama K stands. It is her against the world. She took a bath to collect her thoughts and used the bell to consult the pixie.
Your stench is strong.
That's a bit rude, considering Mama K literally just took a bath, so we snarled at her.
Don't you snarl at me, you nasty cow.
Okay, this trick I first discovered from Proxygate Tactician, who is a big friend of the channel by the way. By interacting with the pixie bell and snarling at the pixie, we get turned into a cow. By turning into a cow, we can ignore the can't teleport flag restricted by the red zone on the map. That means we can teleport anywhere we want. In this case, we teleported from the house at home to Faerun's healthcare system. Thank you, Wither's bestie. With the girls revived, we re-entered the portal. A sensible person would have moved on from this loss, but my pride was damaged and I really wanted the monk gloves, so back down the hole we go. This time with a fiery vengeance. Miss Milk is attacked into an Acuity hold monster. Popping a Terrazol, she managed to take down 2 imps this turn. Mama K and Fuckhead worked together to stun the remaining 2 imps. Things were turning around. Our Dairy Queen worked through 400 HP of the spectator on her turn, and the other girls cleaned house on the imps. You know what, Hope? You're a lot of trouble, gal. The House of Hope has been a bit of a roller coaster for me, and it's not even over yet. Let's get ready for Raphael together, shall we? Start with Gamer Girl Bath Water. Summon some Ellie Bros. Bubble everyone of Shield of Frost. Divine Intervention from Hope for yummy elixirs and food. Hey, it could be a final meal. We rearranged the furniture, cast blur and mirror imaged ourselves, giving us very high AC and imposing disadvantage on attack rolls against us. Miss Milkers built Arcane Acuity on the furniture. We prepped the ground with some speed pots for haste and invis pots in the corner in case of emergency. Our Acuity reached the cap of 10, and with our bow coated in crawler mucus, let's take on the devil from hell, Raphael. The fight began, and Mummy Milkers rolled 24 initiative. Targeting a Cambion with an arrow many targets prevents Raphael's Beguile reaction from triggering when it bounces to him. It also unlocks some spells as a bonus action, thanks to the bands of the Mystic Scoundrel. So we used a hold monster. With Raphael Hound, it was time to unleash hell onto our enemies. She action surged, flew into our prepared speed potion, and hit up some Terrasol, and the arrows started flying. She finished her turn by flying towards the Invis Potion. First round Nova, 1,937 damage. Yu-Gi shotgunned the bubbles off our Ellie Bros and got stunned for doing so. Shadowcursed cast Globe of Invulnerability, bracing for a barrage of counterattacks by the Cambions. They relentlessly attacked home. In fact, one managed to get through her death ward and she was left with 4 HP. There was one more Cambion before her turn, and thankfully, it went for an Ellie Bro instead. On Hope's turn, I immediately went for the Invis Invis potion, and noped out of there. On her turn, Mama K was stunning, as always, and fucked was no slouch, stunning 2 Cambions for 2 turns. Miss Milkers took another chunk out of Raffi, and fuck it ended Duegar. Raffi didn't get to act at all, in fact, far from it. Since Terrasol and Speed potions can stack, but have slightly different durations, you should use Speed on round 1 and Terrasol on round 2, so you only miss a single turn when they wear off. However, Miss Milkers partied a little too hard, and she's going to miss 2 turns in a row. Miss Milkers sat out 1 round, and then another, and then she woke up with a vengeance, stunning with an incredible Mind Blast. She bombarded the room with deadly accuracy and was back on the Terrazol. That wasn't enough for her, so Shadowcursed was there to throw another speed potion, giving her enough of a rush to land the killing blow on Raphael. The girls cleaned up, and the House of Hope was ready for new tenants. The battle cost 21 arrows and many targets, but it was worth it, because even the yappy Hope survived, rewarding Mama K with the gloves of soul catching, and just look at that gamer damage. We got our final level up, and that always means a visit to the shopping district. Shadowcursed desperately needed a respec. As Warlock wasn't hitting for me, I decided to make her a Sorkadin for damage and control. So let's go collect some gear for her. Our first visit was to Mystic Carrion, and it was so scuffed. By casting Knock on the Wall, he ran out and drew us into combat. So I went for the most degenerate pickpocket roll, a DC 25 to succeed a steal in the hood of the wave. I mashed the hell out of my enter key and clicked as fast as I could, managing to get off 4 sleight of hand rolls, and one of them was successful. Our next stop was the Hag's Lair. Luckily for me, the mushrooms had the default HP. The hag finally showed up. Miss Milkers had her rolling on the floor laughing with tashes, and her hits from the electric flail stunned her for another 2 turns. 705 HP suddenly doesn't look too scary anymore. Defeating the hag, we obtain the Ring of Feywild Sparks, which gives us a +1 bonus to spell save DC. This isn't listed in the item description, and it's super useful for a control sorcerer. With Shadowcursed Get she was ready for the House of Grief. My favorite strategy here was to start with a wall of fire, and I wasn't going to stop there. I cast another one, making it a fiery cross. The Sharons had to burn in order to reach me. If they're lucky to reach the top, they get an incredible prize. Actually, a lot had made it past the fire, so we countered with a black hole, followed up by a thunder wave. Let's upgrade our gauntlet. Did you know you can create an ice surface underneath the fire? Not only are they burning trying to reach me, they're going to slip on the ice as well. The ice was incredibly effective and stopped a lot of them in their tracks. If they got anywhere near the top, they got black holes into the gauntlet again. The perfect setup for an ice storm. And every time all those numbers popped up and that juicy squishy sound, the dopamine hit. The Sharon Circus went on for so long that both of my wall of fires expired. But I was having so much fun that I put them up again. One guy made it to the top. Never mind. No matter how much they tried, their numbers dwindled. Vicky made it to the top and cast Blight 3 times, which we punished by throwing her back down and making her walk the fiery ice again. Where's my slip, man? I haven't had a dopamine. There we go. Shove into a slip. And a slam. 3 more Sharons lined up for their rewards. 2 slips, immediate swim. The ice melted, and the last just this year Crusader Altalon made a pass, and Viconia cast Dark Deliverance twice, heavily damaging Karlach and Fuckhead. As we threw the Crusader down, Viconia reacted with a Sanctuary of Loss, but she activated my trap card, Psionic Backlash, blowing her up in the process. Old mate Altalon wasn't so happy with that, and he critted Miss Milkers 3 times in a row. Holy shit. That's okay, darling. I took him on a little bit of a walk. That's what you get for killing Miss Milkers. 50 minutes of watching Sharon's roast and slip and slide all over the place was cathartic and worth every second. I'll tell you what's not worth it though. The mirror of loss. Most of the time I usually don't bother, but this playthrough I decided to obsess over it in order to get 22 dexterity for Mummy Milkers, which adds a +6 to her attack rolls and damage. It was time to collect the final Neverstone. I thought it was fitting for Mama K to kidnap Gortash from his ceremony. He had a lot more HP this playthrough, so we found a very special spot for the occasion. In fact, we were so high up that when we shoved him, he just kind of disappeared. When we approached the body, we had the jankiest cutscene.
Am I fucking missing something? It makes no sense.
Hey now, we can't just leave Worm's Rock without an epic fight, right? I took the shortcut here by turning everyone into gaseous form, allowing us to go through a pipe. I left everyone outside the room and sent Miss Milkers in by herself. Before engaging in the dialogue with the AP Dragon, I pre-disengaged and pre-dashed, meaning he wasn't going to attack me when I moved away, so I returned with an invis scroll and a North of Accuracy. I often get asked in the live chat and comments why I use Concentrated Blast here. You need to engage the enemy to trigger combat, and if you miss with the opening attack, you'll lose your surprise round. Concentrated Blast cannot miss, and as I usually have a Lifted Powers as a bonus action, this gives me the surprise round while leaving my actions intact. The squad rolled in. With 2600 HP, we were in for an epic confrontation. Mama K kicked things off by attempting to stun the giant lizard, which only burned through 2 of his legendary resistances, but that put our tally at 600 damage in the surprise round and got us off to a solid start. On the second round, Mama K punched, and when Answer reacted, he popped 2 shields and managed to stun himself. We set up a globe and a Mind Sanctuary. Just between you and me, Honor difficulty did nerf the haste action with marshals only getting 1 attack, but the Mind Sanctuary haste is different. It grants you all your extra attacks, and in my case as a fighter, that's 3 extra hits. Our second round was an impressive 900 damage. However, let's step it up a notch. Round 3, Action Surge, Terrasol, and first shot, 116 damage. Not bad, but we can do better. 253. Insane numbers when the damage riders pop off. Shot after shot. Miss Milkers pulled off a crazy 1048 damage Nova in 1 round. If you want to try this build for yourself, the guide is on my channel. Mama K punched and triggered Answer's all or nothing Nova charge, and completely oblivious to the impending danger, fuck it stubborn bonking took a dragon out of the sky. Rewarding us with the ultimate 2-handed sword. Baldur's Giant Slayer. Did you know you can skip Squiddy's yapping by attacking him here? Gotta hate the calamari. Hey, this one's another fun fact. You can literally strength to refresh the free cast ability. I do think 22 level 5 spell slots is enough for what's about to come. We cast Daylight on Fuckhead, who invest in, kidnapped Chatterteeth and shoved him off the edge. Can't say I'm the biggest fan of receiving Eyebite. She tried to stun Cazador with her flail, but he saved 3 times. Not to worry, as the cavalry was now here. The open-hand monk strikes again with a stun, but it wasn't all sunshine and daisies as Miss Milkers got stunned through the globe. Kazi got stunned again, and once more. And you definitely know it's over when the Milk Mama action surges, exploiting the Vampire Lord with her highly lethal arrows. The girls all evacuated the safety bubble and we cancelled the concentration. Shadowcursed did the most satisfying eye shotgun, blowing up the majority of the turn order. And with the survivors, we juggled towards the edge, shoving and playing with telekinesis. Can't say I've used Force Tunnel all that much really. Miss Milkers stabbed Cazador and freed the vampires from existence. I was feeling the roleplay a little bit here, and in that sense, Cazador has earned all the disrespect we can manage. Okay, so someone in chat is asking me why I'm throwing him around. Why do we play games? To have fun, right? There shouldn't be a rhyme and reason for everything. Sometimes you just do things because it makes you happy. You see, Cazador here is a little rat fucker, and he deserves to be thrown around like a little piece of shit. Okay, that's enough for him. After dealing with Cazador, there was one more task that we had to do in the lower city. It was off to Loroakin's tower, where I kidnapped him, headed into the vaults, and tried to lockpick this display case. I wasn't too happy with the failed attempt, so I just disintegrated the case. It doesn't matter, as long as we get the Artistry of War scroll for the finale. Remember that, by the way. Speaking of memory, I just remembered Loroakin was kidnapped the entire time, so I sent him swimming right next to his projection. Seraph wasn't too happy, so she joined him as well. Time for our second and final long rest of Act 3, and it has been a tremendous undertaking. Waking up, we had one last visit to the shops. Actually, before we could take on the finale of the game, we had one task left. Each and every rat has a 0.5% critical chance if you have it sitting in your inventory. A secret data mine buff that I'm definitely not gaslighting you about. The girls hopped on a boat and sailed towards Amorphic Pool. Normally there's an ambush here, but we just quietly snuck past. We were face to face with the Neverbrain, but the MP pulled us out. I finally had enough of this win, so I attacked him immediately on sight.
Do not seek me again. We are done.
And replaced him with Orphe. He was kind enough to take the L and turn into a Mind Flayer. Reaching the upper city, I had to change a heart. I didn't want to be disqualified for having such a broken buff, so I dropped all my furry friends off at the fireplace to keep them warm. The high hole was looking pretty empty, with no one but Volo and the Barless for company. That's fine, we only need the bloody inheritance buff to reduce our crit threshold by 2, and Volo appreciated the rescue enough to buff us with +2 to our attack rolls. Now I wanted my team to be at full fighting capacity, so we skipped the courtyard fight by going invisible and just waltzing past. You're probably wondering, looking at the screen, why is everyone naked? Well, I wanted to make sure my team was optimized for the finale. This Milkers is using a modified Eldritch Knight version of my Stealth Archer build to get more sustained attacks for longer fights. Whenever she does a critical hit, she chunks enemies. Helping her get those crits is Shadowcursed, who is a support Torkiden. With a high spell save DC for hold person and crazy burst damage from those two-handed smites, she's the perfect backup. Mama K is rocking that open hand monk build, and well, fuck it is just a fuckhead. I swear my fourth party slot is always useless. The extended version is on my live stream and the build template is in the description if you want to take these along with you on your adventure. I made a pocket guide which you can quickly glance at to see how to level and gear your characters. Shadowcursed strips for 69 sorcery points. Nice. And we all summoned a Nelly bro each. Orphe put a bubble on everyone. And let me explain my secret weapon, Fierce Perilous Stakes. Credit goes to Kronos, May and Delph for introducing me to this tech. Fierce Perilous Stakes, that's 15 psychic damage to your attacks and sets your critical threshold to 15. What the tooltip doesn't tell you is this effect stacks. Each stack means an additional 15 psychic damage and will reduce your crit threshold by 5. What if I told you we can stack this over and over again on Mummy Milkers? Let me show you another speedrunning technique. By moving an icon on your hotbar, you immediately regain the ability to cast another spell without having to wait for the animation. So if I cast Fierce Perilous Stains, wait for the sound to finish, then move the icon, I can cast it again quickly without having to wait for the full animation, which means I can stack this again and again on Miss Milkers before the free turn duration runs out. This is the final fight in the game. Orphe put down a Mind Sanctuary and gave Miss Milkers another stack of Fierce Perilous Stakes, bringing our total stacks to 7. Miss Milkers dropped the Resonant Stone and Orphe moved it across the ground, making sure to get the red dragon in its aura. Let's calculate our damage. With 7 stacks of Fierce Perilous Stakes, that's 105 psychic damage per attack. Double it because of the Resonant Stone to 210. Remember that Artistry of War scroll? We can do 6 instances of damage with her for a minimum of 1260 damage, not including the actual spell damage itself. We deleted the Emperor and did a number on the dragon, but we're nowhere near done yet. Let's fire a few arrows and mini targets. she managed to annihilate everyone on the ground, apart from one Dream Guardian. So I sent the early bros to surround the remaining Guardian and fired a smoke pad arrow, popping the shields off my early bro and stunning the Guardian in the process. Next, we crept up the left side. I like going this way because there are no tentacles to grab you. Shadowcursed Dimension Doored Miss Milkers into position, and with the effects of a speed potion, Miss Milkers was ready to shoot another arrow many targets, skipping across each and every Arcanist, chunking the majority of their health. You know it means business when the Mother Milk action surges, and with that we just put a halt to the entire enemy force round one. The only thing to defend here was the crown's compulsion, and Shadowcursed quickened into a globe to protect us. 10-2, and Orphe gave us 2 more stacks of his feral estates before using his bonus action to channel onto the crown. We also repositioned the globe to protect him. So what happened to the final Dream Guardian? 10-3, the portal opened to the Netherbrain. Now Orphe's sole purpose here is to go in by himself and take the Mind Break reaction, losing his turn. With the Coast Clan, the girls all rolled in, surrounding the Netherbrain. Miss Milk has fired her first aberration slaying arrow. It's over. The arrow struck for 466, and looking at the brain's health and our remaining action economy, I think we can take a chance to relax a bit here. Shadowcursed swung hard with her sword, and Mama K clobbered him. The smite sounded oh so sweet, so Shadowcursed took another swing before Mummy Milkers notched her final aberration slaying arrow of this adventure. And that was the story of how I got immortalized in BG3. This was one of my most memorable playthroughs of BG3 up to date. Clocking in at 43 hours, it was definitely my longest playthrough of the year. What really surprised me, however, was that during the finale, the model for Pixellbyte actually tuned in to the live stream. All throughout the series, and particularly when we reached the end, I felt enamored at the sense of camaraderie and community. I had an amazing time with this modern challenge, and it's incredible to me that there are people who dedicate their time to bring us mods that make BG3 so replayable, and it's all for free. I have been in touch with Pixellbyte, and here's what he had to say. I will be immortalized in the mod with a piece of legendary gear in the next update, which will be after patch 8. To give you a tease, it is some form of footwear. There are still chances to be immortalized for the full playthrough version, but do check the comment section of the Nexus mods or in-game mod page to see the rules. Thanks so much for watching, and a heartfelt appreciation to my Patreon members for your kindness and support. You keep me going and it really helps. Anyways, I'm gonna go before I get too sappy. Bye, sweethearts.